What's up with Sean Baligian?
What up, this is Joyce Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network. Glad you could join us. Woodward Sports, he's Joyce Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. As I mentioned, we got a special guest coming up. This guy is one of my personal favorites. If you know who I pull for in college football, that gives you a little bit of a hint. And some great memories of this guy going back to 2013, that magical season. I tell anybody that listens, and you can fact check me this, find me the last Big Ten champion that went 9-0 and beat everybody else in conference by double digits. Good luck with that. That's what the 2013 Spartans did, and this guy was a big part of it, and you got a chance to know this guy, Joy.
I did. So we played together 2016 when I went to the Bears. He actually had a rolled ankle, so he wasn't playing too much then, but I was able to get with him. We had numerous conversations. Even when we left the team, we always kept the contact. He'll come over to the house. We'll talk business in the office. And he's doing a lot of things in the community right now. So Jeremy Langford, everybody.
What's up, Jeremy? Thanks so much for joining us, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
You know, Jeremy, I've been saying this to anybody that listens, so I'm going to go right to the source. 2013 Michigan State Spartans, one of the most dominant Big Ten champions anybody will ever see, 9-0, every game by double digits. I mean, you can't find somebody else that did that. What was that like for you, man?
Yeah, it was fun, man. I think the whole mindset is coming in from high school to college. We were just hungry, man. I think and that we finally clicked during that time. A lot of us was juniors and seniors, and we were just hungry. We had that mindset that we really wanted to go to the Rose Bowl, because Coach D's really, instilled that in us in the beginning of the season, like Rose Bowl. So that was our mindset from the jump, and that's kind of how you went in there at every game. Like, we don't care who in front of us, we want to go to the Rose Bowl.
For sure. So real quick, so Jeremy, our time in Chicago, man, we were initially introduced. I learned a lot about your character there, man. It was tough not to be able to play, but you was always there. You was always learning, always willing to help out. When I was there, there's one thing I noticed about it, like even with the younger guys that came in with, was it Kadeem? Those guys, honestly, they had so much talent in that running back room. I had no idea why they brought me until, they brought me here to be like a mentor to this running back room. But you guys' work ethic was really good. They took coaching from both the coach and me. Jeremy was one of the leaders in the room, man. So I really appreciate you in that room. Now, question: you're doing a lot of stuff here in Detroit now too, as well, right?
Yeah, man. I got me and my family own a restaurant in Romulus and meat market. So that's where I'm actually at right now. But yeah, me and my family own a restaurant out here. And then we recently did a coat drive here for the community, because we've been here a year now in November. So we did a coat drive for that, and then we adopted a couple families before Christmas. Just to get back to the community that helped us out since we've been here.
For sure. What's the location? What's the name of the restaurant?
Motor City Meats and the Real McCoy. So Van Born and Wayne Road, right by the airport. So if you're by the airport, you come stop by. We do soul food, and then everything else, homemade. But yeah, it's right there in the corner of Wayne and Van Born.
You know what's great about it as well too? So during the COVID, back when everything was shut down, they actually volunteered to be one of the restaurants to help serve some of the frontline workers. So I commend you and your family for that as well. It's people like Jeremy who comes back to the community, who gives back, that they don't get the notoriety that they deserve. They just do it. And I wanted to make sure that I got Jeremy on the show, because I see what you're doing, bro. I'm proud of you. I'm happy everything you're doing. So I wanted to get you on the show to kind of get your business more pub, because you guys are doing a lot, from the co-drive. I knew about the co-drive, for the things you did for the workers in downtown Detroit. It's greatly appreciated, and people like you don't get enough credit, man. I know you don't do it for the notoriety, but I'm gonna give you all the notoriety you need, bro. Like, honestly, man, I'm proud of you. Like, even coming to my house and us sitting down talking business, I saw your mindset, and it's just good to see how much you've grown over the years, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, I was going to say, talk to me about the business. You had me at meets. I mean, I'm a guy. I love my smoker, Jeremy. I'm on my smoker constantly. Talk to me about what you guys have. And again, I tell anybody to listen. You support those that support the community. And when guys are giving back to the community, we're going to give you an opportunity to pimp what you're doing. But for selfish reasons, I want to hear about those meets. So what do you got going on at the place?
I appreciate that. You know, we smoke all year round, so we just built a little smoke house in the back. So when it get cold, because last year we was out there in the wintertime in the snow, still smoking all our meat. So we do ribs, pulled pork, brisket, and the chicken. That's all smoked out on the grill. Regardless of the weather, we out there smoking the meat. And then, you know, all the sides homemade. So you got the macaroni cheese, collard greens, string beans, candy yam. That's like, you know, Thanksgiving food every day. And that's all homemade, man, from scratch. My mama and my grandmother do a lot of that. The peach cobbler, sweet potato pie, and we got all the desserts too. So it's all, you know, we do all in one, man. And then, like I said, the meats is actually smoked. We smoke those all day for hours. So you know you can tell the difference between something that's in the oven and something that's been smoked for a long time. And that's what we do. You know?
Yeah, for sure. So what you don't realize, Jeremy, real quick, and I don't really I call him Jay Lane, but he is, you see that big smile on his face, he is huge in a smoking, every show he talks about his brisket. So yeah, he loves barbecue, he loves smoking. And so one day, no, I'm serious, one day we might have to have a competition with you and him smoking some briskets or something.
For charity.
For charity.
100%.
For charity, for
I'll
sure.
Come on here, man.
I'll help him. No, you know what I want you to tell him? He was making fun of me because I said with a good brisket, it's all about the jiggle. You know, you touch that thing and you want that thing to jiggle, and that's when you know that baby's juicy. Give him the truth there.
Is that facts?
Oh yeah, that's true. And then even, I mean, it kind of, you know, it kind of tear apart itself. That's when you really know when it's tender, when it jiggle, and when you try to pick it up off the grill and it's falling apart. That's when you know that's a good brisket right there. And it's been cooked, it's smoked, and it take a long time. It's patient, but it's definitely worth it.
How long does it? So, question. I'm about to ask because I know your time frame. What's your time frame from the prepping till it being finished? What's your prep time?
Yeah, a lot of times with us though, because we in a restaurant, so we got to keep them going. So if we got time, we can really do it. Like we'll put it on at night time before we leave. So we close at 10. So I try to put it on like 11, 12 o'clock, and then we open up at 9. So I either slow cook it all the way to the morning. So it's like 6 to 8 hours. For us per se, but if I got time, I can slow cook it from the overnight and all the way to the morning time. If I got to speed it up, it's like 6 to 8 hours, and I just kind of just heat it up and put it on the fire a little bit more. So we got different times and different ways we cook it depending on the time.
He knows what he's doing, Joik. Listen to him. That's a legend right there.
Okay, so you're a legend because he takes about. So question: when you take it out of the smoker, do you how long do you let it sit before it's ready to eat? Or to get to the optimal taste.
See, like, that's what I said. For us, we break it down. We break it down as soon as we take it out the oven. So when we break it down, we weigh it. So our pulled pork sandwich is a pound. So when we get done, we let it cool down, and then we break it down to baggies and put each one into a pound. So we just make it easy for us when we get it ready to cook. So that's the way we do it. And it's better. It's better for us to operate that way as far as for everybody else. And all the employees.
You know, I'm sorry. I got him out here giving all his family secrets. My bad, bro.
Ooh, you know what?
No, I ain't telling him how to cook it. I ain't telling him how to cook it.
I ain't
Jeremy Langford kindly joining us here on Baligian and Bell. Jeremy, you talked about the team, going back to 2013. My buddies and I actually had a quote watching games. We would call it the Langford dagger. And what I mean by that is that offensive line would just wear the opposition out, and at some point in the fourth quarter, you would hit that 30-yard run to put the game out of reach. Was that something that you guys knew? Because it seemed like every game in 2013, it was like, all right, they're hanging around, and then boom, that big offensive line would give you some space, and you take off and put that game away. Was that something you guys realized, a self-confidence going into each and every fourth quarter?
Yeah, after a while it became normal, man. I think that's really just Big Ten ball, because we gonna run the ball, and we might not hit the first couple home runs, but eventually we gonna wear you down and get it. And that's kind of like, to our coaches. A lot of times in practice it'd be like, how you working and you might be tired, and here go the fourth quarter. You might run a little harder or finish a little stronger. So that just, to the coaches and us is just responding to that. And we just really play Big Ten football. We know eventually we gonna break you down, and then we gonna just take off with it.
Real quick, I want to ask you this. What was the most memorable moment for you when you were with the Bears?
With the Bears. Really, man, just my first time running out that tunnel in the preseason, it was just a whole, I never, for 4 or 5 years straight, I was running out Michigan State tunnel. It was a little bit different. But my first time really running out that tunnel at Chicago and hear them fans go crazy, and I wasn't even starting then. So then the first year I started running out the tunnel then, it was just those two, moments that, a lot of people want and probably never get the chance to experience, and I did, man. I think I'm just truly blessed to be able to do that. But I really love those 2 times running out that tunnel, man. It felt different.
It's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like it. I'm telling you, man.
Oh yeah.
I remember my first time running out of a tunnel, right? So I was starting the last preseason game when I was with New Orleans, and usually they call out the starting, like Drew Brees, like these guys, they'll call him out as a starter. But this particular game, I was starting at tailback, and they were doing offense, calling out. And so I actually ran out on the field with the team, but I should have stayed back in the tunnel so they can call my name. And once I realized they were calling the people that were starting for that particular game, I had to run back to the tunnel and came in through the back. And Sean Canfield, if you remember him,
yeah,
he was supposed to go last.
Yeah.
But they had to call him right then and there as I was running up. Then they saved me for last, and they called coming out. And that was one of the most surreal moments of my life when I came out and I saw the fireworks. I saw the fans cheering. I saw it was just me coming out and saw me on the big jumbotron. That's an amazing feeling, Jeremy. Like, I'm telling that's amazing, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's like you can't put it into words.
Do you know, I got to tell Jeremy point blank. I mean, I obviously, Jeremy, I loved you in college and I'll always love you. I mean, just any Spartan fan will love you. But the one team that I least wanted to draft this guy, drafted him. I've told you, I hate the Bears. I hate the Bears with every fiber of my being. Yeah. No, what was that like for you? I mean, you're a guy, you grew up in Wayne. For people that don't know, you're giving back to the community and everything. Did you kind of have that feeling, wow, wait a second, man, the Bears, I grew up in Detroit. What was that experience like for you when you heard your name called?
Man, it was like I said, it was surreal, man. I think and it really worked out good because Chicago was really 4 hours away, 4-hour drive, and a lot of times I had my family on the train, so that was easy, just straight there, straight back. They had to ride, but I really loved being in Chicago, man, and it was perfect for me because I went to college in Michigan State, so I didn't really want to stay home, but I was far enough with it. It's a short drive, but at the same time, it was further enough for me to really grow and be on my own in that aspect. But I really love being in Chicago, and I'm glad they did draft me, and the teammates I met, and like I said, running to Joyce Bell, and we still bonded, even though for a short period of time. And I just really love being in Chicago, and I really appreciate them for that.
For sure. I was telling Sean when I initially went to the Bears, I didn't think I was gonna, I didn't want to like it. I didn't like in my mind, I didn't want to like, but when I got there and I started meeting the guys, I started seeing the culture and just seeing how close-knit the team was. I fell in love with I fell in love with the team, and I fell in love with the city.
Yeah.
And they usually say when you move there, you don't want to stay downtown Chicago, right? Because you spend most of your time at the practice facility. What was the city that the practice facility was in?
Vernon Hills. So it was like Vernon Hills was an hour away from the city.
About that. So
Damn.
that's it took me about 32 minutes to get from downtown to the practice facility, but I had to leave every morning before 6 a.m. I had to leave every morning before 6 in order to make it there.
Traffic's the worst.
Right, because if you leave at 6:15, it's traffic. So you got to leave at 6 to beat the traffic, get out far enough where the traffic doesn't matter. But every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the way home, every single time would take me 2 hours to get home through traffic.
Unbelievable.
2 hours. It take me about 33 minutes to get there, and then it takes me about 2 hours to get back home every single day. And I was just like, oh my God. I remember when they wanted to let me go, and I finally got home from being in traffic for 2 hours. They called my phone and said, hey, Coach wants to see you. Can you come back to the office? I said, listen, you guys want to let me go, you guys got to send the car to come get me. I'm not driving in that traffic anymore. He said, well, the coach, I said, listen, if you guys want me to come back up there, y'all send me a car. I'm not driving back through this traffic. I'll bring the playbook. I'll mail it to you. Right. Y'all should have called. Y'all knew this morning. Y'all should have called me before I left the facility.
Hey, Jeremy, you're still probably
way before though.
Yeah.
You're still CFL property, right? You're still with Saskatchewan. Obviously, they didn't have a season, but you're still with Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah, I signed a two-year contract, and for this season they canceled this season. So hopefully, everything work out. They had a season starting in May, and I get a year, because I was out for a while, I got hurt, so I get a year to go back and just prove to myself and prove that I am healthy and I can play. Really just go out with a bang.
It's a darn good football league too. I mean, it really is. Guys, you've seen guys go there, you've seen guys come back and everything. But I mean, how do you even describe what this year's like? The NFL, plowed forward and said we're playing. I mean, you're a guy still in the prime of your career. You got some time left. How difficult is that to not be able to go for a year?
Yeah, man. I think everything. I try to look at the positives and everything. It's really working out the way the way it should. I feel like I'm healthy. I'm be the healthiest I've been since I came in college football, because I never had this time off. I had a time to really watch my little brothers play at the same time, and he in high school, so I became a high school football fan, and that's fun. So everything else I just found a way to look at it in the best way, and I got to help my family with the restaurant. And then I get a whole, I guess 5-6 months now to really put my head down and go train and really go compete. And it's crazy because I trained with Chad Ochocinco before, worked out with him before in Florida. And I asked him about the CFL, and he was like, "Man, people think it's it is different, but people think it's such a slouch football, but it's competitive like everything else. It's really competitive, and I think they'd give me a good chance to really go get some film and just show what I can do."
So real quick, I've heard this, I don't want to call it a rumor, but I heard that when you play in the Canadian Football League, they can only have a certain number of people from America on their roster. Now, is that true? They can't have a whole team full of Americans.
You have to have Canadians on each team, right?
It's like 80,
Jeremy?
I think it's like 80%.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there, and that's what make it even more competitive, because you're fighting as an American coming over there for a couple spots. And it really don't matter, if you might be better than the next, Canadian player or Canadian running back or something. They got to have a certain amount on the team. I think a certain amount on the field or something like that too. So that makes it even more competitive for us coming in there, which is a good thing, because you got to compete in competition, bring the best out of you.
Jeremy Langford kindly joining us. Jeremy, I got to ask you one thing. I mean, the Rose Bowl is something anybody who grew up around here, everybody dreamed of the Rose Bowl. I mean, it doesn't matter if you went to Wayne State. It doesn't matter if you were a Michigan State fan. Everybody went to the Rose Bowl. There was no way I was missing that as a fan, because I didn't know when Michigan State would ever be back. Had the opportunity to take my son. To say it was the best would be an understatement. What was that whole experience like for you and eventually knocking off Stanford?
And it was crazy for me, going from leaving East Lansing, freezing cold, to going to California, which a lot of us never been before, and that was just crazy. And staying in the heart of LA, and seeing Staples Center, that whole experience right there itself was just wild. And then leading up to the game and going to that stadium when I think it was 1986 '85 or something like that. Since the last time we went, it was a long time. And to be able to win that game and be on that in that stadium and that flag forever, and then playing that game, but the environment was crazy, man. It was just we was all just hyped up. It was a great time for us, a great experience for us being young, and just really setting a staple and a stamp on our 4 or 5 years being there, and that's what really our mindset. Like I said, from the beginning of the season, Coach D had flew down there before we even started the season. Coach D had flew down there and showed us the Rose Bowl, and like we gonna be here, and that kind of is crazy because they ended up playing and we was there that year. It was just a great experience the whole season, and then we ended off great.
Man, amazing, right?
No, it was unbelievable.
Memories.
Hey, let's give him a chance to give some love out and let people know how they can try Motor City Meats. Tell everybody what's going on at your place, where you're located. We already had one guy, Scott, said on Facebook, his place is 10 minutes from my house. I'm going to pay you to visit this week, but certainly give yourself some props and tell everybody where they can try this great product of yours.
Oh yeah, so Wayne and Van Born right there on the corner. Wayne and Van Born by the airport. So you ever going towards that way, and then it's called the Motor City Meat. So it's actually a meat market and a restaurant. It's a 2-in-1. So the good thing about us, we cook the meats right there in the house, and then we had everything else for the raw meats as well. And like I said, all the sizes homemade. We got the peach cobbler, so sweet potato pie, different kind of cakes, chocolate cake, caramel cake, and all that stuff. That's also made in house. So everything really made in house, man. It's legit, and we really try to, like I said, as a business, as a family, and my whole family work here. So my grandmother, my mom, my 2 younger brothers, and my dad, which is really the head of it. He started it. So this be our 6th year actually really doing it, but our first year in this actual location. So yeah, right there on Wayne Van Born, right, man. We Monday through Saturday we 10 to 10, and then Sunday is 10 to 8. So we open later on, especially in this area because there's really not too much going on. But we open, and we booming.
Enough said. I'm bringing my son. One last question, then you'll leave. This is the last question for you. What was the most, I guess, energetic game you've ever played? The most intense game you've ever played in, from childhood to your NFL career?
I got to go, I guess, my NFL career, which is my first time starting. My first time, I think Matt Forte had went down. And it's my first time starting, and I was a little nervous. We played Monday night and San Diego against the Chargers. Monday night, and we go out there, and it surprised me because how many Chicago fans travel good, and I knew that. But going to San Diego and then run out the tunnel, and it's Chicago fans everywhere, and that kind of surprised me. But it kind of I was nervous, but that kind of helped me a little bit. And then that game, we was like a mediocre team during that time, but we went out there and we balled, and we going against Eric Weddle was over there, and I always like watching Eric Weddle and playing against him. And then I had a good catch down, a real good catch down the sideline that Jay Cutler threw to me. So that really just sparked it up, and that's one of the best games that I did play, and that was one of the best games we played as a team that year. So I think that was 2015, my rookie year, 2015. My first year starting, that was on Monday night. That was amazing, man.
That's dope, man. That's dope to have.
Great stuff.
Hey, Jeremy Langford, everybody, man. Hey, bro, man, I'm going to tap in with you. I'm bringing my son to the restaurant.
We're there. Same thing. Motor City Meats, Van Born and Wayne. Go check it out. They're giving back to the community. Go say hi to the man. Hey, all the best to you. Happy New Year, and can't wait to see you on the football field as well. Continued success to you, Jeremy.
For sure. Appreciate you tapping in, bro.
All right, appreciate y'all having me. Y'all have a blessing.
You too.
Likewise.
Jeremy Langford kindly joining us here on Baligian and Bell. What is up? Glad you could join us. It is Woodward Sports. He's Joyke Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. And we are joined by a special guest. Spent a lot of time in the National Football League. Knows a lot about the wear and tear that we were talking about. Maybe we can get his take on that. Still doing some positive things out there in the community. Of course, we'll get his take on the Ohio State University as well. I'm really looking forward to that game against Clemson. But guy that played in the league, Seahawks, Lions, let's bring him in. Rob Sims. And first of all, Rob, really appreciate you joining us, man. How are you?
Oh, man, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. JB, what's up?
My guy, look at living life. Where you at, bro? Tell the world where you at.
Yeah, I'm down in Miami visiting my father-in-law, Tony Nathan. He actually played for the Dolphins back in the 70s and 80s. So just down here soaking it all up with the family. About to enjoy some of this Miami sunshine for a minute before get back to work.
Look at that. Father-in-law played in the NFL. His father played in the NFL. He played in the NFL. Man, that's a legacy right there.
22, right? Tony Nathan was a stud. I remember him with the Fins.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, the hook and ladder, number 43 best plays of all time. So, you know, it's crazy. I walk around his house and it's like a shrine to all things Alabama, all things Miami Dolphins. You know, he coached for like 16 years after he was done playing. So, ton of football knowledge, coach work done, Frank Gore, people like that. So it's pretty cool that that's part of our legacy now. And you know, he's part of my family. I'm part of his, and it's been good. Me and my wife we married for 10 years here in July, so it's been a good deal.
Congrats. That's major. Mm-hmm. Now, real quick though, I'll talk with Corey. I don't know, did you have the video of that job at best? So real quick, me and Rob, we always have this conversation about. I ask him, who was your favorite running back you ever blocked for? And he will always tell me, you a strong number 2.
Strong. You a strong number 2.
Strong number 2. And so I said, well, who's your number 1? Who's your number 1? And I thought he was going to say Reggie, and he was like, you know, that job at best, you know, I blocked for him. I give him that one block, he hit it. I know he's going, nobody's catching him. He said, I made that block for you one time. You got caught about 60-some yards down the field. I was running off the field. I thought you scored. You got caught from behind. I had to run all the way down the field. So real quick, let's show my play first because it's going to be over quick. And then we'll show the job and run real quick. Hey, take a look real quick, guys.
Who was playing our slot position because of Ryan Broyles' injury. Came in, did a good job blocking the slot, and actually gets a 2-for-1. Gets the slot and then gets up to the safety, and then Joik is able to run through an arm tackle from a smaller guy. Mike Thomas is down the field getting a block, and you see even Calvin's coming down working hard. Most long runs are a result of blocking downfield.
Came around, got that.
You know what I like the most about that is Rob just goes,
They will
like
be
there's a big piece of brisket in front of him that looks so good. He just goes,
And the Lions take over from the 12 in search of a running game. There it goes.
Look at that play.
Merriweather chasing.
Look at that.
Gonna get him. John Best all the way home. Touchdown, Detroit.
You know, the funny part about both of those plays, if you look at my block on the one with Joik, I completely killed that guy. I killed him, you know, pulled around, put him on his back. Javed Best, I didn't even touch anybody, and it was an 80-yard scamper. You know what I mean? So I played with some really good running backs, Sean Alexander, of course, Reggie. Me and Reggie only got really a year to play together, but you know, that's why I can say Joik is my second. I'm sure Joik probably has the most explosive runs out of any running back I played with in my career, but he just couldn't hit that home run like I needed him to. You know, all good.
You know, I got a lot of doubles, a lot of triples. You know, we passed the 50. If it's 40 going in, you know, I can keep that top speed for a little bit. You know, so yeah, man, me and Rob had some good times together, man. And really quick, Rob is one of those guys I'll put up here when it comes to that transition from the NFL into the business realm. And me and Rob sit down. We actually sit down more often than not and just sit back and have these conversations. Whether it's about real estate, whether it's about cannabis, he's always available. And he has a group out called Primitive now, correct? A company called Primitive.
Yep. Company called Primitive. Me and Calvin are involved in that. We've been the principal owners of that. We're working on 3 years now.
Working on 3 years. Do you want to tap in and let people know kind of what it is and what you guys have coming up in the future?
Yeah, you know, we're a vertically integrated cannabis company in Michigan. We have a grow that's been operational here for about a year, looking to go into our second year, and then we've got processing that we're doing at that facility, and you know, also we are, you know, we're really close to open up our first retail operation out there in Niles on the west side of the state. And we've got some other things that'll come online in 2021. So, really excited about the team we've been able to build, the culture we've been able to build. And now we're just in a good position of kind of, reaping some of the benefits of our hard work. We've got some things that are going to come on in 2021 there to put us on the map. And, we're excited about the future.
Rob Sims kindly joining us. Rob, one of the things that jumps out to me about what you guys are doing, and you're better to talk about it than I am, is you're educating people on the benefits of the product as well. Can you touch on that for a minute?
Yeah, there's a ton of cannabis brands out there. Some are better than others. And, my whole thing to Cal, I said, look, if we're going to be the face of this company, and more importantly, if you're going to be the face of this company, you got to have a unique story, which of course Calvin does anywhere he goes in any situation, being a future Hall of Famer here, hopefully here in 2021 or, whatever happens. He'll be one of those guys that has a gold jacket. And I said, we got to be really careful about your brand and how, people perceive, cannabis. It is, at some points, there is a stigma behind it. And so we just really focus on like those real stories, that we have, us using cannabis after our playing days, my wife using cannabis for medicine, and really trying to, people have tried to vilify it. We've trying to change the stigma. And we just say
that they did.
We've stayed rooted in that. Go ahead.
No. One thing that you guys did that I really respected was you guys they actually donated money. Was that to Stanford or Harvard? Harvard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Harvard
they donated.
School,
they donated a couple $100,000 for the study of the cannabis plant to show to get more studies on the benefits of the health benefits of it. So they're really putting their checkbook where their mouth is, and they're really passionate about it, like I am, and hopefully we're gonna do some work together soon. Honestly, we are.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. No,
yeah.
we definitely need to. I think Harvard was a great opportunity for us to not just only donate money, but more importantly, there's research that hasn't been done on this plant for years because of the stigma behind it. But this plant has some very good healing properties that, hopefully we're able to bring out some of our research and really try to help some folks.
It's funny. I want you to touch on the stigma because, the stigma is real. For whatever reason, and I think especially now, to me, I know so many people, whether it be, the horrors of cancer, whether it be MS, that they have been able to get some medicinal relief. And to me, I look at it and it's like, if this is helping somebody feel better, if this is giving a better way of life for a lot of people out there, then what the hell is the hang up? Why are we talking about this stigma?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got so much neurocognitive disease, whether it be MS or Alzheimer's or dementia, CTE, that's going to plague, people like myself and Joik and Calvin. And, instead of kind of waiting around for, somebody to come up with some treatment or some cure, we just figured, hey, we're in a position we can kind of take the ball and run with it, so to speak, no pun intended, Joik. But, we just wanted to get with some people that had some knowledge. We were going to invest in those people, in those process, and, put it back into what we're trying to do in cannabis. And, it's been a great ride. I've met some great people. I met some scientists and doctors that I never thought I would meet in my life. But, we're in a good position to try to figure some treatments out and to help some people.
Good.
Rob, I got to ask you, how you feeling overall? Your career's been over, ended in 2014. You hear about guys, the wear and tear. We were just talking about Cam Newton and, the beating the guy has taken. He just looks like a different player now. How are you doing physically, health-wise, and everything now 6 years removed from your career?
Well, that's crazy when you say 6 years. I can't believe it's been 6 years, but
right.
I'm doing well. Cannabis has helped out tremendously for me. I've lost 60 pounds. I used to be one of those fat, ugly dudes up on the line, and now I got an opportunity to kind of play with my kids a little bit more. You know, don't mind taking my shirt off at the pool. No, I'm just playing. But you know what I mean? I'm in a different place.
Pun intended.
I'm in a different place. Yeah.
All right, before we ask
in
you
a
about
different
Ohio
place.
State,
Excited about it.
before we ask you about Ohio State, Joik tells me you are all in on the barbecue scene as well.
Yeah.
Is this straight? Because I'm somebody. I mean, my smoker is in use constantly. So talk to me. You're a big barbecue guy.
You know, once I get some of these businesses to a place where I don't have to be there every day, I'm back to culinary school because I just have a passion for it. And you know, my big green egg is my home smoker. Right now, my father-in-law's. I got another smoker I bought for down here. And then when they see me coming, they just want me to put some on the grill. So I got a prime rib. I'm getting ready to smoke for New Year's. So we've been, you know, we were hanging out on the beach a little bit with my family, and I cooked every meal for them. So it's my love language to my family. Something I really enjoy doing, and you know, I'll put my food up against anybody's.
Hey, you know,
Hey, I love it.
You know what though? If you chime into our show, just about every show he talks about his smoker, and so I say, you know what, man, let me bring Rob on the show so you guys can kind of chirp back and forth, because I watch his stories on Instagram, and it makes me want to hop the fence back over to the other side sometimes.
You heard Rob say it's love. I mean, it is. You're putting a lot of love.
It's love.
When I got that 17-pound Wagyu sitting on there, I am going to. That's my baby. That's my pride and joy. I'm serving that to my friends and family. I got to nail that. And that there's something so beautiful, Rob. You know this. There's something so beautiful when you serve that and people just look at you and go, "Damn!" I mean, you can't put a price tag on that.
Right. It's the best feeling, you know. For Christmas Eve, we do like a steak and egg breakfast, and I had these 35-day dry age New York strips that were beautiful. Arguably the best cut of meat I ever had in my life. My family loved it. I got it from Fairway Packaging right there in Detroit, you know, right there in the Michigan area, and just unbelievable. When you got a piece of meat like that costs you what it costs you, and you're about to really, you know, give your family a taste of the very best there is out there, you got to hit it right. You got to hit those temps right. Got to hit the seasoning right. And like I said, man, it's a love language for me. I love to do it.
My question for you is, what's your favorite thing to put on that smoker? Your favorite thing?
Ooh, I would say my favorite thing is definitely the brisket. You know, I have an uncle that has a restaurant down in New Orleans called Real Good Barbecue, and it's actually a Yelp 5-star. Him and my dad are who I kind of learned to do barbecue from, and you know, nothing like a Wagyu brisket from Snake River Farms, throwing it on that smoker. You know, 10 years later, no, not 10 years, but 10 hours later, you take that thing off, and I think it's like butter. So that's my favorite thing. And me and CJ are on
10 hours, huh?
Does that sound familiar, Joy?
10 hours.
Does
That's
that
you.
sound familiar?
You know what? That's his
10
magic
hours.
number.
That's
Is
all you
10
need.
hours. That's his magic number, bro. You know what though? So he's
great-
going to start
man,
his
that's
barbecue
perfect.
show.
Yep.
He's about to start his barbecue show, I think, in the next couple of weeks, man.
You're ever up here, Rob? We'd love to have you, man. We'll get you some dry aged
Hey,
steaks, and we're in.
We're all in.
I'll be your first special guest. First taste test.
Well, now before we get to Ohio, how's Natalie? How the kids, man? You guys doing good?
Man, they're good, man. We're so blessed, man. We just, you know, I got 3 kids. Michaela, you know, Robert III. We call him Scoop, and we got the little Tasmanian Devil. That's my daughter Zanai. So, you know, I got 10, 7, and 2. So I got all along the spectrum. She's 10 years old, man. Beautiful. Yeah, you were there when she was born. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but she's,
my God, bro.
You know, now it's crazy, man. She's growing into a young woman, and you know, I'm just standing by the door of my shotgun, waiting for these little boys to start knocking on the door.
I remember. we were playing in Cleveland, and she was downstairs with you and Natalie, And I remember her running through the lobby and jumping underneath the table. I was like, what you doing? Get from underneath the table. And she was just running around, man. And just time flies. She had to be about 3 or 4 then. And like, dang, she's 10. Time flies, man.
Yeah.
You got to think, my son's
10 years
15 now,
old,
so
man.
it's like time is flying.
Unbelievable. And
Yeah,
Rob would be
man.
remiss. I
Crazy.
mean, people that don't know, you're a Buckeye, the Ohio State University. Getting some disrespect down there from Clemson. What's your take on this one?
Well, that's what we play the game for. That's what they get to put the shoulder pads on and put the helmet on for. Nothing taken away from Clemson. I mean, he's done great. My father-in-law's actually, met Dabo. We've actually met him at a couple functions. I think he's a great coach. But we have no. There's been no shortage of disrespect over the years, for Ohio State. I get it. We are world famous. We are the world famous Buckeyes. We are the Ohio State
He's
University.
not afraid to let you know.
That rubs people the wrong way. But, me, myself, I got 3 Fiesta Bowls. I got, a couple Big Ten championships. I got a national championship. And we just, when the game starts, we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, Rob, it's great to catch up with you, man.
This is his humor, bro.
I love it.
Rob's one of the funniest teammates I ever had,
He's
bro.
speaking fact, though. I mean, you don't argue with fact. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just
No, it's
speaking
number
fact.
truth.
That's all he's doing.
No, but the truth.
It's truth, man. That's
Just
Hey,
the truth. The
Rob,
Ohio
Happy
State.
New Year to you, man. Seriously, it's great to catch up. Great to hear you're involved in some business, and
Hey.
we're going to barbecue with Joik pretty soon. I promise you.
For sure.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to you,
Man,
man.
appreciate
Joy,
you
keep
tapping
doing your
in,
thing,
Rob.
man. Good stuff.
I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Hey,
Rob.
Rob Sims, everybody. The man, the myth, the
Man,
legend
myth, the
himself.
legend.
All
Thank
right.
you, Rob. Happy
Appreciate
New
you,
Year
bro.
to you,
All
bro.
right. We'll see you.
That was great.